Chromosomes are composed of DNA and proteins, and chromosomes are also condensed DNA. And right now I'm going to explain a little bit how chromosomes look like, and I'm going to simply make a freehand drawing over here. Chromosomes look a little bit like this. I know it's a little bit schematic, and down here it's connected, and over here you have another arm of a chromosome, and over here as well. And it's a little bit sloppy, I have to admit, so I'm going to make it a little bit like this. And I'm going to draw the same one. It should at least look the same size over here, right next to it. This one over here, like this. It's a little bit too thin over here, but it's. I hope you get the idea. They should be the same. It's a little difficult to draw on the computer. So, okay. So what I've done right now is I've drawn two chromosomes, and now let's label this a little bit. You see over here that this one over here, that's a chromosome. And this one over here, that's also a chromosome. And you see that each chromosome is again made of two parts, and I'm going to shade one of them. So that is one part, so that belongs together. And over here, I'm not going to shade this in, this one is the other part, but we don't say part, but we say that these two over here are referred to as sister chromatids. Sister chromatids, and they are identical. They contain the same DNA. Identical DNA. Why the same DNA? Well, because before cell division the DNA was copied. So these are now the two copies. And of course we have the same thing over here. But why did I draw this two times? Well, because these two chromosomes over here are referred to as homologous chromosomes. They are homologous. Now what does this mean? They're not the same, so they do not contain the same DNA, but they contain the same genes. Now what does this mean? So for example, if over here, I just invent something right now, if over here I have the DNA for, let's say, eye color, well, then of course over here we must also have the same DNA for eye color because it's identical. And over here we also have eye color, and over here as well. On a different chromosome we might have over here something else, but the actual information which is encoded in here might be different. So let's say that this one here is the allele for blue eyes, and over here maybe for brown eyes or whatever. Okay, so but eye color is always on the same place. So the place over here where the chromosomes are held together, this also has a name, and this one is known as the centromere. So the sister chromatids are held together at the centromere. And I just need to clarify something because this is a question which reoccurs very often. What are now, does this one over here belong together? Or is it like this, that this is one sister chromatid and this one is the other one? Well, let's use our common sense. If the sister chromatids are identical, then this of course must be one, and this one is the other one over here. Because this one here, the centromere, is not always in the center. Okay, so why is the centromere there's another reason why it's important. At the centromere, this is the place where the so-called spindle fibers attach, because during cell division, during mitosis, the chromosomes have to be pulled around in a cell. So I'm going to draw the chromosome again over here, but I'm going to simplify the drawing. So I'm going to draw the chromosome like this. And this one over here is now my centromere. You see, I've now only drawn a line and not a thicker thing here. And over here, this over here, that's a spindle fiber. Spindle fiber. And the spindle fiber attaches at the centromere. And when the chromosome is pulled by the spindle fiber, the arms, we call them the arms of the chromosome, they bend back. So the spindle fiber pulls into this direction, and then what happens to the arms, it looks like this a little bit. Look, it bends back. That's the centromere, and that's the other arm of the chromosome as it is pulled into this direction, because of course it's flexible. Yeah? I just wanted to clarify this a little bit, that the chromosome is not rigid, but it's flexible. So that is basically it. I just want you to know that chromosomes, they are homologous chromosomes. The homologous chromosomes have the same size. They have also the centromere at the same position, and they have the same genes in the same sequence. So that's maybe something that you would like to also note down. What is a homologous chromosome? These chromosomes have the same size. They have the centromere at the same position, at same place, and they also have the same genes in the same sequence, on the same position, same genes in the same sequence. Okay, so, and of course on the chromosome you not only have eye color here, but you have different genes over here all the way down the chromosome, but it's the same on the homologous chromosomes. So to give you a counter example over here, what would be not a homologous chromosome, I'm gonna draw this again simple. So let's say that this is basically one chromosome over here, and this one over here is, bad drawing, okay, that's another chromosome. You see they have the same size maybe, or almost the same size, but the centromere is on a different place, so they're not homologous. Or you can have one that looks like this. It should be the same size. Yeah? Over here, the size is again different, so they are not homologous. And in a human being, you have 46 chromosomes, and in male, I'm going to draw the sign of a male. In a male, you have 22 pairs of homologous chromosomes, and an X and a Y chromosome, and they are not pairs. And in a female, I'm running out of space here, you have 23 pairs, because it includes one pair of X chromosomes. But more about that later. I just want to show you that we're just looking over here at one pair chromosomes, and there are actually many more of them floating around in the cell. So that was a lot of information on one foil. Okay, so that's you need to have a basic understanding of chromosome structure in order to understand the process of cell division in eukaryotes in mitosis, which I'm going to explain in a different video.